Oh, shoot. No. Sorry, hold on a second. I don't have the right stuff wired up. I don't think I have my sound wired up correctly. My bad. Let me try that again. Hold on. Check, check, 1, 2. And wire that up. Okay, let's try that again.
Welcome to the joy of coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 59, I think, of The Joy of Coding. Is that what episode we're on? Joy 59? Joy 59? Yes! Yes, we're on episode 59. Holy smokes, we are over the hill. We've been doing this for a while. That's pretty awesome. Pretty happy about that. And we're here with episode 59 of The Joy of Coding. We're going to be hacking on some Firefoxy things today. You caught me at a time where I'm just sort of like, I just finished a meeting. I kind of scrambled to put everything together. And so I'm a little disorganized. I tried to do a bit of organization before my meetings, and now I'm out, so I'm a little bit frazzled, but hopefully we can salvage things. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm in a room where the lighting is causing, for some reason, my forehead to be melty into the background. Like, that's pretty gross. I'll try not to lean back too much. That's pretty nasty. Okay, so let me show you my screen. Whoop. All right. And I've got the agenda here, except I failed to really fill it out. So I'm going to have to do that kind of on the fly. So if you're new, you don't maybe know this. The agenda here is what I use to sort of keep a roadmap of things I want to do today, and also it's got some handy links and a glossary and ways to contact me. Also a form, if you click on this link, a form for giving me feedback on what you think of the episodes, and instructions on how to join the live chat because I would love to talk to you in real time. Um, so what are we doing today? Oh, well, first of all, this agenda, if you're not familiar with it, you can actually access it. If you're watching this on Air Mozilla, if you scroll down, there's like an additional links tab, and if you click on that, you can get access to the agenda. There should be a link to the agenda there, and there's also a link to the rate this episode form. If you're on YouTube, you should have the same links in the description of the video. So check those out. Hopefully by the time you're seeing them, if you're watching this in the future, there's more in here because I really haven't sort of fleshed out what I plan on doing today. And I did want to make sure I was recording. Yes, I am. I do want to make sure that I am. My microphone's working. It is. Okay, we are good. Let's move forward. What do I want to do today? Well, one thing I want to do is file some bugs. Someone contacted me on Twitter, um, Mike Habashay, who used to work for Mozilla, now works for some hardware company in Toronto now. He contacted me about some bugs, and I want to get those filed. That's one thing. And then I want to work on some review feedback for some tests I'd written for the window opening stuff we've been doing the past couple weeks because I want to start getting that stuff landed. And I've got some review feedback. And then I need to maybe review some patches. And before that, file a bug and post a patch for waiting for the initial browser load of a new window in browser test utils, and I'll explain what I mean by that in a few minutes when we get there. It's also really warm in here. Hopefully I won't melt. That would be bad. So let's get started. What are we going to do? The first thing is to file these bugs. So I was contacted over Twitter, which is one of a number of ways you can contact me. And if you check it out, there's this thread here where anyone at Moz seeing weird interactions between Firefox and VM Player under Ubuntu. Seeing serious FFX, UI jank, and grayouts. Yikes. And I hadn't seen anything like that, but I wondered what version he was running. He's on release, so 46. has only started occurring recently, and he's found a few reports on VMware forums, which is also very interesting. And then he had some links to some threads that I can look at. So I'm going to look at those right now, and we can sort of try and piece together what we're seeing. Running Workstation in Firefox on host, high CPU usage. A little bit of information. So this person is running a host machine, so they're running VMware Workstation. They've got a host machine running Ubuntu 14.4, 64-bit, and Firefox, tested from 30 to 35. Whenever the Firefox process runs on the host alongside a guest VM, there's high CPU usage. The guest can be of any type. Doesn't matter if the guest does anything or not. Firefox alone or Workstation Player alone, no issue at all. I can even use Firefox with Workstation as a client without any problems. There's no pattern with these CPU spikes. Sometimes I don't have to open any tabs at all. It's enough to run the Firefox process even in the safe mode without any add-ons. So, let's see. This was back in September, actually. So that's interesting. The thread is quite old, but then February, this is a little bit closer. Having the same issue with Firefox, Chrome works fine, Windows 7 machine running VM Workstation 12.1, high CPU and all apps become unresponsive. Okay, so that's one, and then high CPU utilization when running browser on host. I experience high CPU utilization when using the browser's Opera and or Mozilla Firefox, and the guest is running. I think, oh, launching with v blank mode equals 0. What is that? I was having the same issue with high CPU on Arc. It's not related to Firefox or any browser. I found another discussion suggesting Workstation should be launched using v blank mode equals 0. Key huge page gets involved too. V blank mode equals 0. What is that? Whoops, I should probably. Vertical sync. Like vsync. Some kind of vsync thing. In the second thread you posted, there's a comment about v blank mode equals 0 helping. Does that help you too? So instead of filing a bug, I've asked Mike H for more information. So instead of filing a bug, asked him for more information over Twitter regarding v blank mode equals 0. Hang on, I'm going to paste that right. Since the second thread, so I'm going to put the links to the threads he's posted here as well. Boom. And boom. Since the second thread he posted had a message indicating that this helped, I wonder if he's experiencing the same thing. Okay, so that's one thing. I did that. Next, I want to review. I've got some review feedback for some tests I'd written. So, gonna close these out. Tests are where? If I go to review board.mozilla.org, where I've got my patches. I've got all these patches. I've got review feedback here, where I've got just a ship it from Kritza, or Gabor, as I know him. Gabor has no feedback there, no feedback there. I think he's got some feedback here. Two issues he brought up, which I can fix. We'll fix today. And then this one is the last one waiting for review, and he's got some concerns here, and we're going to take care of that next. So let's get rid of the concern regarding what I forgot. So apparently I forgot to update the comment after copy paste here and the function name. So browser new remote flags 2 on lines 49 to 52. What's he talking about? Oh, yeah. I use the same function name. It's just copy paste. I'm didn't update the I need to update the function names in here and the comments. Okay, good call. Good call, Gabor. So let's do that now. Hopefully you can oh, I should have pumped up the font size so you can read what I'm reading. I'm trying to do that more and more. Okay, so let's take a look where we are in the tree. The patch that Gabor commented on is actually like very early on. I reorganized my patches to put all the tests at the front, and I think it was what test that named Windows, test that new Windows open from remote content, test that new Windows open from remote content right here. We're going to check that one out. Okay. Oh, shoot. I had some. That's bad. Oh, I can't stand that. I had some unsaved like changes locally, and whenever I update, Mercurial attempted to merge it, and it did it wrong. What did I want? What had I done before? Oh, I'd been messing around with a couple of tests. For new window. Let's not worry about that. Let's revert everything. We're going to update C. So, luckily, not so bad. Okay. And then we'll try updating again back to the change set we wanted. Okay, great. Now the feedback he had was on those functions and their function names right here. Content can open like here and 65. These two, he's saying, these two need to have their function names changed and their comments changed, which is, I think, right. So let's open this file up. Browser, new remote window flags. Content can open. So what's this test doing? Tests that when a remote browser opens a new window, that the newly opened window is also remote. Content can open a window using target equals underscore blank, and that's what it's doing, I think, when we click on anchor page. Yeah, underscore blank. Content can also, if I use script page, content can open a window using window.open. Content can open a window using window.test new remote window. So instead of new remote window, test new remote window flags, target blank, window open, and then this one, content scripts, privileged content scripts can also open new windows using content.open. Flags, content, open. Cool. All right. And I think that should resolve his issues. Let's just make sure that the test still runs. Mock, Moki test, embedding, compose, window watcher, tests, browser, new remote window flags. Now, because I went back into the tree, I don't want to have to do a full rebuild. Some of the later patches, like some of the later patches changed some things pretty substantially, and that would probably require me to do a full rebuild. But maybe I can get away with not doing a rebuild here. No. Uh, I need to, I don't want to have to do rebuild. Looking at the diff, my change is pretty innocuous. I'm changing comments and function names. The test itself will run. The fact that I'm failing the test does not bother me because it does not surprise me because I checked out an earlier version of the tree, um, or an earlier version, or an earlier revision. So what I'm going to do, commit, amend, and then evolve the changes on top. And then let's take a look at Gabor's last piece of feedback. So shouldn't we test the location ref of the window here too? That's a great idea. Let's do that. Test named window. We will do that once we're done evolving. Let's take a look at the diff in total. So his concern. So what does this test do? We make it so that tests when content opens a new window with a name, because the second, whenever you call window.open, you can pass a name. That the newly opened window actually gets that name, and that subsequent attempts to open a window with that name will target the same window. Okay, so we do window open about blank #1 my window. Um, hmm. My window. Window 2 about blank should have gotten back the same window. So this should only be the one window. Yeah, and I think what he's saying is we should make sure that the page was updated to be pointed at about blank 2. What's link? Get element by ID link. Oh, this here, to go to about blank 3. Click it. And yeah, he wants us to make sure that we wait for the window to load. Okay, I think these are all reasonable requests. No problem. Apparently, I have a conflict. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do hg update c to abort. I'm going to abort the evolution, and then I'm going to do a what have I got? What have I done? What have I done? So we had rebased a bunch of those. Add methods to doc shell tree owner for sizing the primary content. And then it's not going to replay on top. Oh, rebase, dest tip. That should replay just fine. Yep. And what is this? Create a new helper method to 349365. That's probably some leftover garbage. Size tab parent 2. Size opened tab parent. Size tab parent 2. I think we want to throw that work out. Create a new helmet method, probably resize the initial remote frame loader. I think we want to throw that out. I don't think we need that anymore. Let's see what else here. So I'm going to try and rebase this all the way to this onto tip. 3, 4, 6 onto tip. You know what? I'm just gonna have to do all this work anyway. You know what? I'm gonna stop after this next rebase. Well, the thing is, I just don't want to get unorganized. That's why I'm doing it. I don't want to like have this. Shoot. All right. Well, rebasing doesn't take that long. I know it's not boring, or it's not very interesting to watch. The reason I'm doing all of this rebasing is so that in between the fixes that I'm doing, I've got a good tree state. That I don't have like this sort of weird tree state while, and I'm working on 2 bugs simultaneously, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I don't know if it makes a whole lot of sense, but I'm doing it. Story of my life.
It's me, Mario!
What I don't want to have is like a bunch of like obsolete branches that are like, and I've lost track of what needs to go on top of what. So that's why I'm doing all of this right now. So I've got this one big obsolete branch. So I'm going to this, I'm going to rebase that onto tip, and then I'm going to rebase I'm going to rebase that on top of it. And then we will go to the next step. That should take care of that entire obsolete branch. It is warm in here. It is cooking. So yeah, that entire obsolete branch is gone now. That's good. So now we can finally take a look at that other test that Gabor is talking about here. Test that named windows work properly. That's this one. We're gonna have to do, nope, not rebase, update to it. I'm gonna have to do a big rebase again. But I think it'll be cleaner next time I do it. I think. Okay. So, test named window. Right, that's the one. Test named window. Yes. So actually what I'll do is I'll kick off a build in the background to run this test, because this one's going to be a little more involved. And I'm actually going to want to run this. So kick off a build to do it properly in the background, and then I'm going to start modifying this test. So first thing he wants me to do is whenever I do window.open, I should make sure that I got back the same window. I also need to like wait for the window to finish loading about blank too. It's not going to take long. Like, because I think we fire a load event, even if it was like an anchor, like a browsing to an anchor. I should probably confirm that. Let's confirm that. Let's see. What's a good GCC and CC locks? Sure. And here's an anchor on it. I'm going to add an event listener to load function e console.log loaded. So we're waiting for load events. Did we get a load event there? We did not. We did not get a load event. Huh. Event when page anchor navigates. Just trying to remember if there is an event. No, you can't. It's talking about a lot very soon. This is back in when? 07. So there is not necessarily an event when the page doesn't anchor navigation. Well, one thing I could do is double check by is there a way I could check what events? Anchor navigation event. Anchor. So what do I want here? I want to know when a page has successfully transitioned from one anchor to another. Page loads anchor link. Oh, or when the hash changes. When the hash changes. Hash change event. Yeah, on hash change. That's the one. When the fragment identifier of the URL has changed. So that's the part of the URL that follows the hash symbol. Okay, that we can wait for. And what else do I want to do? Do I have anything in special powers that will like wait for an event? Do I have any like handy dandy special powers wait for event things? Wait, new promise. Load extension. Not really. Event. Add event listener. Add Chrome event listener. Add autocomplete. No, not really. There's not a whole lot here. So I'm going to have to like well, maybe I can use something I used in an earlier test where I imported browser test utils, which was handy. DXR. So browser test utils has a bunch of like handy utilities for waiting for events. And I think, yeah, we import one here. Const cu equals components.utils. cu testing column browser test utils. Push pref env window open window. Yield browser test utils dot wait for event win1 load. Should have expected name is win1 dot location dot ref about blank. So we expect that URL. And now we're going to prepare let hash change equal browser test utils dot wait for event win1 hash change That's what it's called, right? Hash change event. Yeah. Add event listener on hash change. Hash change, yeah. On win1, when open yield hash change is win1.location.href about blank 2. And then we're going to click on the link up here, which should bring us to hash change equals browser test utils.wait for event win1, another hash change. Click on the link. So we're going to yield on hash change. Okay. Should have gone back to the same window. Should have loaded about blank 2 in the original window. I'll put that on the next line. Boop. Okay, I think that'll do it. Let's see. No, our build is still going. So while we're waiting for our build, I can, I guess, commit this. Let's take a look at the diff. Make sure it looks right. The things I've done. I've added components utils. So we wait for the load event on win1. And then once we have it, then we get the name of the window. And then we also make sure that we loaded the right URL. I'm going to actually change, add a string. Should have loaded about blank 1 in the original window. Okay. And then we wait for a hash change and then do it. Wait on that hash change. We should have gone back to the same window. We should be pointing at new number 2 now. And then, yeah, my build's done. Yay. Then we're going to wait for a hash change again. Okay, that, I think that feels much more thorough a test. So let's try running it. Window watcher test, and it's called test named window.html. Failure. Why? CU is undefined. Do I have no I have no access to components utils for a Moki test. What? I thought we saw that though. This is a Moki test. This is a different Moki test. CU components.utils. Components.utils. And it says CU is undefined. What? Debugger. CU is undefined. Do I have a components? I have an interfaces. I don't have utils. What? Components.utils? What? Say what? Why don't I have shoot? Well, that explains that. How come test private browsing? Why is this one not special? Moki test, simple test.js, simple test, Chrome. Test.js, spawn task. Is this one like test STS private browsing? What I should do actually is search for what kind of test this is registered as. It's a Chrome test, that's why. Moki tests. You don't get this. You don't get this at all. So I have to build my own handy function. Function wait for event. Target event name. I'll call it promise event. Return new promise resolve. Add event listener. Target add event listener event name function on event e, and we're going to resolve e. We're also going to target remove event listener event name on event. That should do it. So we've got this promise event thing. So yield promise event target event name browser test utils hash change promise event. All right, let's try that. So shut you down. You are done. And we just stay there. Nothing happens. Okay, so where did we wait? We were at info waiting for load event on about blank 1. Info got load event. Maybe we don't fire load events for about blank, in which case maybe we should load a special page. Yeah, alright, let's try example.com. Example.com, which is like this sort of built-in testing page. What? We don't get the load event. When promise add event listener. Info adding event name listener. Am I doing this wrong? Do I have the steps out of order? It's not enough. I don't have to wait for it to be capturing, do I? That doesn't make any sense. Load event. Wait for load of new window JavaScript. How to wait for page to load. Window open. Oh my goodness, this is from way back in the day. I don't know if any of it's relevant. Stack Overflow. Yeah, window open thing. Oh, maybe it's because of same origin. Maybe same origin policy doesn't let me do that. So what if I use like a data URL instead? Const URL. Is it data HTML HTML body. Hi there. body HTML. I think that's right. So we have some examples of data URLs. Text/HTML. That's what it is. MIME type. Like that. So if we use URL, my window, waiting for load event on URL. Let's see if we get the load event there. Yes, we got the load event. Got the load event. Okay, so we can use that as our test, or as our test named window.html new window. So we do that. We open the window. We wait for the load event. We get the load event. Actually, test the name. Is the name match? Pass should have the expected name. The location should be what we expect. Should have loaded the URL, target URL, in the original window. Hash change window open URL plus #2. My window. When to show get back the same window, and then URL plus 2. Const. I should do this. URL plus 2. Const URL 3 equals 0. Okay, so I'll use URL 2. Change. Should have gotten back. Should have loaded second URL in the original window. Change. And then URL 3. I'm going to programmatically set that. Link set attribute target name link dot set attribute ref URL 3. Target name. I guess we don't need that anymore. Link. Target name link click yield hash change should be at URL 3. Targeted should have retargeted pre-existing window. I guess that's the same message. Okay, let's try that as the test. We passed 2, we failed 3. Should have loaded the target, got data, that, expected. Oh, it's URL encoded. How do I encode the URL? Or do I decode it? HTML. Here, what do I do? If I'm here, how do I get location? Ref. Location bar. No. URL new URL location dot ref. URL dot ref. URL. So what I can do is in all the comparisons, new URL ref, new URL ref, and new URL. And I should actually not override, like overwrite. I should call it target URL. Target URL. Target URL. Shoot. And so open that, and then that, load target URL, target URL2, target URL2, because like there's this global URL that I was overwriting. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm correcting that mistake. Target URL3, target URL3. Run. Good. Sorry. Pass should have loaded target URL in the original window. And then target URL 2. Oh, whoops. That's what I forgot to do. Yay, all pass. That's what I wanted to see. And do it with E10S disabled. This should also pass, or we are in trouble. Bam. Hey, good job. Okay, so I think we're done here. I'm going to document this real quick. Returns a promise that resolves once some target has had some event dispatched on it. Param target DOM node. The node to wait for the doesn't have to be a DOM node, could be a window. The thing the thing to wait for the event to fire on to be dispatched through. Dispatch through. Event name. The name of the event to wait for. Returns promise. Get rid of that debug string. Perfect. Hey, that's a lot better. I think I'm a lot happier with that change. So thank you, Gabor, for that feedback. I think that's a much better change. Much better test, a much more resilient test. So now we're going to evolve all of the previous changes on top of the ones I'd already made. And believe it or not, Mike H has gotten back to me on Twitter. He says that the v-blank thing did not work for him. It's what he first tried. Made no difference. Is Firefox, is it, could you try gathering a profile using Zoom? And then, because there's a Zoom profile. Unfortunately, Gecko profiler support on Linux is only so-so. Gecko profiler support on Linux is only so-so. Okay. And another failure when we attempted to rebase a thing. We're trying to... Oh, this thing. That's what we're trying to do. No. Update C to abort, and then we're gonna... Get rid of that old code. 3455589. I'm gonna prune that. Prune that change set. And now rebase this all the way to this. Rebase R that all the way to 349382 on top of what? Oh, it's probably resized. Yeah, okay. So we're going to HG rebase on top of tip. Hacking by Twitter is the best, says Jalen. You'd best believe. Getting feedback and trying stuff out on Twitter, engaging with people and having people try stuff. I'm actually, so here's an idea for the people who are watching. Maybe I should actually add this to the agenda. So there's this subreddit for Firefox, r Firefox, which, you know, there's some good people in there and there's some good conversation, people helping each other out. And one of the things that's come up periodically is that, like, there are performance issues that people want to, like, help Mozilla improve the performance of Firefox, and, like, I have a slow behavior on my machine. What can I do to, like, support and help out? And one of the things that's been floating around, or something I've been thinking about, is we have tools, and there are tools out there that allow people to gather profiles from their machines and share them. And profiles are essentially just a reading of what the machine is doing over a period of time, and that's used by people debugging performance problems to figure out, like, where the bottleneck is, what's slow. So one thing I was thinking of was having, like, a weekly post your profile. Like, I could do a video entirely on, like, here's how you gather a profile on whatever system you're on. You're on Windows, here's how you do it. You're on Linux, here's how you do it. You're on OS X, here's how you do it. Post your profiles, and then I'll open, like, a thread on our Firefox or something, and then people can append their profiles, and then I will live stream myself interpreting them and, like, filing bugs or saying, okay, well, disable this, see if it works, and whatnot. Trying to help out people. Is there interest in that? Let me know in the chat, or let me know in the rate this episode form. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know if that would be useful or not, because I honestly don't know. Would that be interesting? Don't know. Would it be fruitful? I don't know if it would scale. Like, if I have like 100 profiles to read every week, that's not going to scale. But maybe I could train other people to read profiles. That's a goal, I think. It's a skill. I didn't know how to read profiles for the longest time, and now I kind of got in the hang of it. So maybe if I can do it, anyone can do it. So maybe I can show everyone how to do it. Okay, so I've committed that change that Gabor wanted. I've got my updated tests here, so let's push them up. Let's get these pushed up for review. Push our what have I got here? Actually, what I'm gonna do. Whoops. I think they're based on something. Yeah, this landed test fix that doesn't need to be pushed up for review. So it's everything all the way to where I'm at. Push our to pre-window tests up for review. And then we'll take a look at the interdiff, make sure that the changes that have been made make sense, and then we will publish the review request, and then we are done that problem. We can move on to, we'd be done this, and then there's this other thing about posting a patch to wait for the initial load, because I'll talk about that when I get there. And and maybe we'll get to review some patches. Smurf D says, sure, it would be cool. Okay, I'm guessing that Smurf D is referring to the idea of investigating profiles. Okay, so that's one vote of confidence. Okay, that's one data point. Thanks for shouting out, Smurf D. You're a good person. I believe in you. Okay, so let's look at the inner diff of everything that's changed in these last two pushes, in this last push. Actually, I'll look at the squash diff. And holy smokes, what is going on? Come on, review board. What's happening? Am I still on the internet? Hello? Oh, snap. Am I not on the internet? Can people still see me? So I'm not on the internet. Okay, so I've realized now that if you're watching this video in the past and not the live stream, that you're still seeing these frames. And so sorry about this sort of like block of silence. My network connectivity, I guess, died. Attempting to reconnect now. Let's see what's happening. Hello? Am I on the internet? No. Come on. Maybe if I switch to the guest network, that will be better. I'm going to switch to the guest network. And maybe the Mozilla internal office Wi-Fi is having problems. So switching to the guest network now. Sorry, folks. Sorry if you're watching this old video that things are not going according to plan. And of course I can't. Come on. Alright, that's limited connectivity there. Back to the original. Here, let me open up the network diagnostic tool. Alright, I'm back on the internet. Hold on, I'm getting back in IRC. And now I should be reconnecting any second now. Come on. Hello? Hello, can people see me? Okay, I've got Reddit. That's one thing. Can people see me? Am I on the internet? Test 1 2. Internet. I can see review board, so that means I'm back on the internet. Can you see me? Hello, hello. What happened? I'm trying to...
What happened? What happened? Hey, what happened?
Can people see me? Oh man. Alright, well I'm just going to continue as if people can see me. I have no idea whether or not I'm streaming. But for the people who are watching the recording, I'm just going to move ahead. Oh man. So sorry about that little block there of what was probably really boring of Panic. Is the stream still up? Can you see me? And Smurf D. Hello? Hello, hello? No, I mean then. So Smurf D is not able to see me. Is it still out? Actually, one thing I could do is actually go to the page. Sorry, that's last week. Go to the page. You're watching me rapidly where I'm at. Push R to pre-window tests up for review. And then we'll take a look at the interdiff, make sure that the changes that have been made make sense, and then we will publish the review request, and then we are done that problem. Where I'm at. Push R. Look like you might be Axe, says Richard. We'll take a look at the interdiff, make sure that the changes that have been made make sense, and then we will publish the review request, and then we are this is so meta.
done that problem. We can
I'm
move
debugging
on to
the live stream on the live stream.
we'd be done this, and then there's this other thing about posting a patch to wait for the initial load, because I'll talk about that when I get there. And then maybe we'll get to review some patches. Smurf D says, sure, it would be cool. Okay, I'm guessing that Smurf D is referring to the
Come on.
idea.
Start streaming. Start streaming. Oh my goodness, why is this breaking? What is going on? Start streaming. This is terrible. I'm gonna have to restart OBS. Okay, I'm gonna restart OBS and then try and weave these parts of the video together. I'm sorry. Hopefully you folks can see me now. I'm sorry I dropped for like what was probably about 5 or 6 minutes. Luckily, I think I caught it towards not too long after it started. I'm just gonna wait until the video starts playing in here, and then I'll know that everything's working again. Hey, that's me. Okay, hopefully I'm back. Row the page. I seem to be. You can probably. Oh man.
For like what was probably about 5 or 6 minutes.
I'm gonna close this. It's streaming. Okay, so wow, that was a kerfuffle. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna move on. Okay, so the things that are in this patch that I've changed. I changed this. I've got some more highlighty business here. Like, yeah, I've updated the comments. I updated the function names. That looks all right. And then this is the big one where I like updated the target URL. There were some other changes that I made in the meantime, but I pushed those up yesterday. That's the thing. So what did I do here? I have my new target URLs, URL, URL2, URL3, which adds hashes to it, and then we have the event listener, our event promise thing, and Smurfd. No idea, network event on my side, I think. Which network am I on? I'm on Mozilla still. Careful when the tiniest one gets to infinity. All of it's true. It's true. Yeah, I opened a small black hole there. I hope it's okay. No big deal. Okay, so we wait for the load event on the window that opens up, and that works because we're loading something that's a data URL, and we have same origins. We're okay. And then new URL. We use the URL object to properly parse and compare URLs.
We wait for hash changes. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm also happy with like what appears to be starker highlighting in here. This is really nice. I'm wondering if like has there been changes to the styling of review board? If there have been, it's really nice. Anyways, I'm going to publish the changes. Okay, so waiting on feedback from Gabor on this last one. I'm also going to push this series of patches to try. I don't think it should be a big deal. I think they should all continue to pass. But Gabor is probably asleep. He's in Germany right now. Or he's not asleep. I would say he's probably like having a nightlife. So while I'm waiting for him to review, I will push to try this series of patches. And that's it. That's this part. Review feedback. So now I want to work on this last bit, which is filing a bug and posting a patch for waiting for the initial browser load of a new window. So what do I mean by that? And hang on, Wacky Morning DJ, are you not working anymore? Let me just quickly find out what my IP address is. Sorry. That's right. It's possible that my tablet needs to reconnect to the Wi-Fi as well. Okay, so anyways, we have these helper functions that we use for opening and closing windows and tabs and doing all sorts of things in tests. Like, for example, here's one for opening a new browser window. And that's great. That's super useful. But the problem is that when you open the first browser window or open a new browser window, oftentimes the thing you want to do is load a thing in the initial browser. You want to like load a page in it or something. And that's great, except that the initial browser always tends to load something. It usually loads like about blank or about private browsing, or it's usually like loading something by default. And we should probably wait, like if we open a new browser window, tell the initial browser to load somewhere and then wait for the load event, it's possible that that load event that we first see after telling the browser to go somewhere is going to be the load event for the initial thing that it was attempting to load. And that's been a source of some pain in the tests I've been doing, or the tests I've been fixing. And I think this is sort of like a more large scale solution is filing and fixing this bug. And I think it'll work. The number of places where yay, Wacky Morning DJ works again. The number of places where, like, for example, this function open new browser window is used, it's not that old, so it's not used in too many places. Well, it's used in a number of places. We should make sure that it's all going to work. My idea for all of these places. What I'll probably just end up doing is yeah, what I'll probably just do is push it to try and see. But what I'm talking about here is first filing a bug. File a bug, testing, general, Moki test Chrome, Osmil, Moz regression, new frameworks. Creation of new, no, that's not it. Testing, test informant, TPS, Moki test, go faster, general. What's browser test? Moki test. Okay, I'm going to put it under general for now. Make browser test utils dot open new browser window.
wait for the initial browser load before resolving. When we open a new browser window with browser test utils open new browser window, we often will wait for the delayed startup notification, but not for the initial browser load event. This means that this is normally okay, problem, but sometimes the caller of browser test utils open new browser window will want to browse the initial browser somewhere and then wait for a load event to occur. If the delayed startup happens before the initial browser has fired its first load event, then it's possible, which is possible, then it's possible that a test waiting for a load event after a navigation, well, maybe suppose we have the following actions occurring in a test. Add task function my test. Setup. Yield browser test utils open new, what was it, open new browser window. Let win equals win dot gbrowser dot selected browser dot load URI example.com yield or let browser equals win.gbrowser.selected browser.load URI yield browser test utils browser loaded browser. That's a lot of browser. That's a lot of the word browser there. What am I talking about? Suppose we have these actions occurring. Because browser open new browser window only waits for the delayed startup notification to fire, or instead of starting with because, I should say, open new browser only waits for the delayed startup notification to fire and does not wait for the initial browser load event. The initial browser might load about blank or something else, depending on whether or not a message or command to load a page arrived in time to stop the initial about blank load. This means that it's possible for the browser loaded promise in the last part of my hypothetical test to resolve due to the initial about blank load instead of the example.com load that we care about, that the test cares about. This bug is about making open new browser window not resolve until the initial browser has finished its load, as well as the delayed startup notification having been fired. I'm going to CC Heist because he sounded interested in this. It's possible there are some tests that actually depend upon open new browser window firing, resolving before the initial browser load. I'm not sure what those tests will be. They're probably pretty fragile.
there might also be tests in the tree that attempt to work around the issue by waiting for the about blank. It wouldn't surprise me if these are intermittents, if these cause intermittence. In the case where the about blank load fires before delayed startup is done. I guess we'll see where the problems are when I push to try. Okay. So I actually have sort of a patch to do this. Update our central. Okay, and then the thing that I did, export R349413. Yeah, I think that's what we wanted to do. Promise browser loaded. Okay. I'm going to rebase that on top of this other work that I did yesterday, this landed test fix. So I'm actually going to go next. Rebase R tip test landed test fix. Okay. Whoa. Oh, sorry, that's why I'm not seeing. I didn't update to the change. And there's my change. So let's run a couple of tests that use it. Browser test utils. Well, hang on, I'll build now. I'll commit amend with the bug number for the bug I just filed. Make open new browser window, wait for the initial browser load before resolving our, I'll have Heist look at it. And we'll build. This might take a few minutes. Mike Habisher says that he will attempt to try using Zoom, the Zoom profiler on his Linux machine tonight. Great. So that's good. Hopefully we will get some actionable data out of that. Oh, other boops and beeps. What's going on? Not a big deal. And let's see. How long is this build gonna take? A candidate set of tests to run. Drag and drop per window. That looks like a good one. It uses it a bunch, hopefully in a variety of ways. Maybe one of these private browsing ones. Here, this one that does an immediate close. How about this one? I'm just picking at random pretty much. Sure, and this one. So I've got all these candidate tests. I've just more or less picked at random. We'll use these to determine whether or not we're working properly here. I think we should be. This should work. Let's see, any other news? Oh, so Jalen was talking about as possible that there's a wireless access point that's like acting a bit funny in my area, and he thinks we might need to reboot it. That's what I was running into. I should probably only ever use Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi, like wired network. I remember initially having issues with the wired network for streaming. I was dropping a lot of frames, and I'd had some good success with Wi-Fi, but maybe my luck is running out, or like whenever things fail, they seem to fail spectacularly. So perhaps I don't want to use Wi-Fi anymore. It's possible I want to talk to some people about using something new. Um, I'm also got some reviews in my queue. I wonder if maybe while we're waiting for this build to finish, we can try reviewing a patch or two, and then we'll be on our way. Let me see if I can find some good candidates. Make sure there are no security bugs in there, though. Sure, we can review this one. Oop, there we go. Flyweb UI for Mozilla Central. So Flyweb is a technology that's being worked on to like improve, like to make it easier to like connect to local devices. And this is like the initial experimental stuff that's going to land in the tree is a sort of a Go Faster extension. We're going to test. It's nice and isolated from the rest of the tree, which is good. So and it's only going to be in, I believe, if I look in the build, it's going to only be in Aurora and Nightly builds of Firefox. So we'll iterate on Aurora Nightly and only let it ride up the trains whenever it's ready. Okay, let's see here. So what have I got? I've got this. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. This build's almost done. I'm not gonna get too far into this review. I really want to finish getting this patch posted for the browser test utils thing. And if I can get this review done too, that's great, but I really don't think so. I mean, it's a big patch. But I can do a little bit. So here's the install.rdf for the Go Faster extension, the system add-on, whatever you want to call it. It's called Flyweb. It's 1.0.0. It's a Bootstrap extension. It's multi-process compatible. That's good. It will never use the shims. And then it's targeting, the current Firefox version. Discover nearby services in the browser is the description of the system add-on. All right, our build is done. Let's try running a couple of these tests. Let's run this one. Browser base content, browser tab, drag reorder. Works okay. All right, now with ETNS disabled. Seems to work all right there as well. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try this private browsing one. Before we chuck it into automation.
Looks good. Disable E10S. We'll try it without it. We like it. Next, let's try this one. Let's just do a few more. This one closes it right away. Looks good. Oh, Gabor came back with the with a review on my last patch. He's still awake. I didn't realize that. Oh man, he's working late. He is working late tonight. Cool. But that means all my patches have gone gotten review. I'm happy about that. Maybe we can. Well, I'll wait for try to finish and then I will land it. I will do auto land. Whoops. Just gonna run a couple more of these tests. Looks good. Disable E10S. Looks good. Last one. Picked at random. Just to kind of smoke out any anything I might be missing, or try to. It's not saying that this is all perfect. It's possible that I missed something, and hopefully if I have, I'll catch it in automation. And done. All right, so I'm gonna push this. Hey, hold on a second. What's up, Jalen? Oh, am I gonna get kicked?
Probably jumped over to the other one.
Is there a way I can be sure? Or?
Should be 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, actually, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna push this up. I'm gonna cap this stream right now because Jalen says he's gonna reboot the local wireless network in where I'm at, and hopefully this stream doesn't just completely die on me. So I'm gonna push this last patch to try, or to review, and I'm also gonna do a try build. See what Heist thinks about it, and then hopefully we'll call it a day there. Not a bad little bit of work for the past hour. All right, I still appear to be online. This is good. Oh, hang on. I have to use -C because the patch it's based on, it says it's unpublished. I haven't rebased on Central in a while. So, submitting it for review. Let's take a look at the patch. Wait for the window to load. We wait for browser delayed startup finished. Wait for the browser loaded. We yield them both. All right. Let's see what Heist thinks about that. Publish. And now let's push to try as well. What was my last try syntax? I think I want to use the same thing. Yeah, this. Gonna run all Moki tests. Submit. Done. All right. And you know what? I'm going to call it a day right there. Thank you so much for watching The Joy of Coding. I know that today was a little bit rocky with my face melting like this and with the network problems. But you know what? We got there in the end, and I think we did an okay chunk of work. So thumbs up. Let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to mention? Oh, did you know that you can subscribe to The Joy of Coding and all of the other live hacking stuff going on Air Mozilla using iTunes or Kodi or any sort of media player that has a feed, a feed reader interface? you can. There's a link in the agenda that will allow you to subscribe to the live hacking channel on Air Mozilla. Also, if you're in the Mozilla community and you want to do a live hacking episode or show or anything like that, I think that's a great idea. It doesn't even need to be hacking. It could be anything. It could be, writing documentation for something, or it could be triaging bugs, or it could be testing some stuff, or it could be, helping some people out on support forums or anything like that. I think it's fascinating. I think we should be broadcasting what we're doing and showing the world, being radically open with what we've got going on. So if that interests you, come talk to Richard or myself in the Hash Live Hacking channel. We will happily talk to you about the things that you can do to get your show set up, and I think it would be awesome. Also, a reminder, please rate this episode. There's a link in the agenda. There's a link in the video descriptions and the additional links and whatever. Rate this episode. Let me know what you think. Let me know what I could be doing better and what you want, and I will do my best to accommodate. I've been hearing some comments about people wanting some walkthroughs of certain components in Firefox. I did something similar a few episodes back called Better Know a Gecko. I'll probably start doing another Better Know a Gecko for some component, maybe starting next week. So I'll put a note for myself in here. Do a Better Know a Gecko next week. And who knows, maybe we'll talk about some component. We'll see. So, thanks again for watching The Joy of Coding. My name's Mike Conley. Happy hacking. Have a great week. See you next week. Bye-bye. Oh, come on. Play music. Am I still on the internet? Localhost.
The joy of coding.
Thanks. See ya. Bye.